Hi everyone and welcome back to Kaizen Code. In today's video we are going to explain you some of the common field types in Kintone. There are different field types in Kintone that can help you capture and organize your data efficiently. Let's go through them one by one. We're going to start with labels. Label field allows you to display a heading, description or notice text on the app form. Okay, so first let's open our sample app, press on the gear icon. And here we already have a label to display the title of our form, which is customer list. Now let's take a closer look at the settings. To do so, we hover the field, press on the gear icon, then choose settings, and now we can see the editing screen. We can edit font size, weight or color, add a hyperlink, center it, or more. If you click on the Insert or Remove Link button, the Edit Link window will pop up where you can choose to add a website link or an email address. You can also choose to open the link in a new tab. Know that labels are for displaying text only, so you cannot use them to input data. To add a new label, simply drag and drop the label field from the left. Then click on Settings to change the text, and now you can set it up. Now let's talk about text field types. There are three types of fields that can be used for text input: a single line text, text area, and rich text. The first one is the single line text. This field creates an input field that can be used for entering a single line of text. Line breaks cannot be entered in this field. For example, on this form we are using text field to display our clients' names. Let's look closer at the settings. You will notice that some setting fields have a red asterisk in the upper right corner. These fields are mandatory and cannot be left empty. First, you can choose whether you want to hide the field name. Selecting the Calculate Automatically checkbox allows you to set a formula. You can set a formula using the field codes of the fields that contain the data you want to calculate. We will talk about that in detail a bit later. You can choose to make this field required, which means that when a user adds a new record, they will have to input some data into this field. Selecting the Prohibit Duplicates Values checkbox prohibits the same value from being specified in multiple records. Also, the number of characters allowed for the field will be limited to 64 characters. A tip: if you're not sure what type of text field to choose when creating a form, single-line text field is the safe option, as it allows you to input data freely. Text area field allows you to enter text with line breaks. They're useful for entering a large amount of information. The settings of the text area fields are similar to the single-line text field, though Calculate Automatically or Prohibit Duplicate Values can be applied to this one. Text area fields can be used for giving details, feedback, notes, and so on. Moving to the last type, Rich text. Rich text field creates an input field that can be used for entering formatted text in the form. The configurations are the same as those of the text area field. Additionally, you can format the input text to your liking, similarly to the label type of field. The next category is numerical fields. Let's take a look at the number field. Number creates a field for entering number values only. You can also use number fields to display number values separated by commas, limit values, or add units of measure, for example, a dollar symbol. You can also specify a default value to be displayed in the input field. Please note that if the entered number starts from 0, the number field will automatically erase that 0. So if you want to make a field for zip codes or phone numbers, use single-line text field instead. Calculated fields allow you to set a formula, but as opposed to Calculate Automatically fields inside a single text field, they display the result of the calculation as a numerical value. In the settings, you can choose the display format to display different types of numbers, dates, or time. So if you want to set a formula, the result of which is a numeric type value, use a calculated field. If you want to set a formula, the result of which is a string type value, use a text field with the Calculated Automatically feature instead. A tip: to ensure the readability of your formulas, rename the field code according to your field name. If you change the name of the field code specified in the formula, the change will also automatically be applied in the formula itself. Now we move to the next category of fields, option fields. The first one is radio buttons. Radio buttons let users select a single option from a list. Here in the application we already have a radio button field for our sales status. Let's view its settings. Here we can of course change the field name, add or reorder choices by dragging them, and also choose whether to display them horizontally or vertically. Please note that one option must be always selected in a radio button field. Next, drop-down lists. Drop-down lists are similar to radio buttons, but they allow users to leave the field blank if it's not marked as required. To configure it, just click on Settings and input your options. You can also choose to make the field mandatory by checking the required box. Checkbox in multiple selection fields lets users select more than one option. For example, in our form, we're using checkbox field to allow the users to select their preferred contact methods. You can also use the multiple choice field for the same thing. Date and time fields. There are three types of date and time fields in Kintone. Date, where you select a specific date from a calendar. Time, where you're choosing a specific time. And date and time, which combines both. Let's click onto one of the fields and check its settings. You can set default values, for example, today's date, so it's automatically filled when a new record is created. These fields are helpful for scheduling events, deadlines, or appointments. File attachment fields. File attachment fields allow users to upload and share multiple files. On this form, you can see an example. Files can be simply dragged and dropped into the field. Using this field, you can upload documents, images, and more. This is especially useful when working with contracts, reports, or image submissions. Link fields. Link fields are great for storing website URLs, email addresses, and phone numbers. You can define the link type, for example, a phone number or email, and customize how it's displayed. Clicking on the phone number will start a call, and clicking on an email address will open your default mail app. Selection fields. With these types of fields, you cannot enter or format data, but you can assign tasks to workers or specify notification recipients, for example. Users, departments, and group success rights can be configured at User System Administration page. User Selection field allows you to specify Kintone users. Multiple users can be selected from a single field. We can add a logged-in user in the default field. To do so, we click on the Select Users icon, Others, logged-in user once again, Add. This way, the logged-in user who created the records will be automatically assigned to it. Selecting the Preset Users checkbox allows you to specify preset users that can be selected from the field. You can either select people from departments or group lists, similar to how we did in the previous step. You can also simply type in their names in the text search field. You can find detailed examples on the Kintone Help page. Department Selection field allows you to specify one or more departments registered in Kintone. Let's create a new Department Selection field and take a closer look at its settings. They're basically the same as those of the user selection. In default department fields, we can add priority departments, which will assign the department associated with the logged-in user at the time of the record creation. If the user is associated with multiple departments, the user's priority department will be automatically entered in the field. Please note that if the user who's adding the record doesn't have a priority department, the field will not be filled automatically. Group Selection field allows you to specify one or more groups registered in Kintone. The setting items are the same as those of user and department selection fields. The next category is display-only fields. As the name implies, these fields can be used only for displaying text, and therefore cannot be used for inputting data. Apart from label, there are three other types, mainly blank space, border, and field group. So let's add a blank space field to our form. This will create a blank space you can change the size of by dragging its right or bottom edge. The main purpose of the blank space field is customization in JavaScript or CSS. To use this field, you will need to specify the element ID in its settings. Please note that the ID must begin with an alphabetic character and has a limit of 64 characters. Another thing to bear in mind is that you cannot specify an ID that is already used for another blank space field. Next is border field type. You can add border fields to set boundaries between fields to organize the appearance of your forms. You can adjust the length of the border by dragging its right edge. The last one in this category is field group. Field group allows you to form a group of fields by dragging them into field group area. You can collapse it to hide those fields or expand it to show those fields. When there are many fields, you can organize them in several field group fields. In the field group settings, you can find the show fields in this group checkbox as a default value. And the last but not least category is auto-filled fields. There are 5 types of fields that will automatically enter data at the creation or update of a record. Those are record number, created by, created datetime, updated by, and updated datetime. Please note that even if these fields are not placed on your app form, they will still be automatically assigned and can be still used as conditions for filtering records. Another thing you should note is that the value of these fields is automatically filled and cannot be edited. A record number is automatically assigned to each record. Record numbers are assigned in the order in which records are created. Note that the record numbers of deleted records are not reissued. Created by field displays the name of the user who created the record. Created datetime field displays the date and time when the record was created. Updated by field displays the name of the user who last updated the record. Whenever a record is updated and saved, or its process management status is moved forward, the user who performed the update is displayed in the update by field. Updated datetime field displays the date and time when the record was last updated. It is similar to the updated by field. So in today's tutorial, we covered the common field types in Kintone. Thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next one!